our game, and we're kind of entertainers, and they've been with us through the start of it. So everyone that was in the crowd tonight, I was trying to give them a piece of that emotion that I was feeling.
Connor, you mentioned the guys that you've been with a long time there. How will you celebrate this with your teammates, this achievement?
I don't think there's going to be much celebrating tonight. I think we're going to wait for the ceremony and kind of go from there. I know my wife is planning some things, so I was been left in the dark on purpose, so it's going to be a surprise.
Can you take us through the 5-on-3 in the third period, because it got kind of hairy there as you were trying to lock down that win?
Yeah, that's I think that's just a gritty character room right there. I thought our PK was fantastic tonight. They got buzzing a little bit, but I felt like we kept them to the outside and allowed my sight lines and blocked some really big shots, and the few shots that they got I was able to get in front of, and it took everyone tonight, that's for sure.
You talked about evolving and becoming a little more aware of your place in history, but it also took a lot. You were talking about that kind of connection that you have with your fans in those moments where you get the star. You clearly are reaching out and really trying to connect. Is there a moment that kind of stands out to you where you kind of feel like you took that to the next level, that relationship between Connor Hellebuyck and the people on the other side of the glass or the seats?
I guess you could say the whiteout, our first whiteout, 2018. We felt really connected to our fans then. And that was such a fun run. But I think just going through what the city has gone through over the last couple of years and going through it with them and seeing how big we are in the community and how much people care about us, I think it's hard not to start to feel connected. And as time goes, you just grow stronger and closer to them.
Imagine the pandemic too, right? Playing in empty arenas, playoff series win, but nobody here to kind of cheer you on. That would kind of appreciate what you didn't have in the terms of the fans then.
Right, and that's all part of it. We've gone through the thick of it all together, and just being able to share this moment with them means a lot.
Just one on Josh Morrissey, to see him go down. Obviously tried to come back and didn't, and we know his value to the team. So what do you think about kind of the work of the other 5D that had to obviously pick up the slack?
Like I've been saying, we needed everyone tonight, and they were great. They were fantastic, and it's never easy, that. Going in and having to just jump around between lines and line mates, and you never like seeing anyone get hurt. So let's hope he's got a speedy recovery and back for the next one.
It was kind of a game where everything happened. There were, 2 4-minute minors. Kupari, I don't know how he's supposed to control his stick. Connor gets that hook, all that sort of stuff. And at the end of the 5-on-3, you get the standing ovation. I don't know if you had time to notice that in the moment, because the play was probably still going on, but the whole building was on its feet. Is that going to be a number one mid-game takeaway from this milestone, or is there something else that happened tonight?
No, absolutely. I did notice it. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, that our crowd got really into it, and I think we got a lot of momentum from that moment. And they were cheering for good block shots, and Laos made a really big block shot, and they were cheering there. And those little moments, they give us bursts of energy, and it helps. It really does.
Thank you. Congratulations. And obviously you guys wanted to get off to a good start today, and I don't know how much you liked maybe the first couple minutes of the game where Connor had to make a couple really big saves, but for your line to come out and get an early goal, just what did it do for you and the team?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we all kind of had one tough shift there to start, but we were able to kind of swing the momentum around a little bit. I think everyone's second shift was a little bit better, so yeah, hopefully next game it's our first shift's good, but I think it's good for us to kind of be able to swing the momentum like that, and obviously we've talked about a lot, but that's kind of I think a role our line tries to take on night in, night out, is to be able to kind of swing momentum.
There was a lot going on around the net in tight quarters on your goals, so kind of take us through what you saw.
Yeah, it was kind of a scramble. Coop made a really good play. Had obviously a ton of patience, and then it was just kind of a chaos of scramble there, and then some way or another ended up in the back of the net. So I mean those are the hard areas to go to, and it worked out for us.
Kind of unfortunate Rasmus gets the assist taken away, right? 'Cause I think
He just told me
they
that.
treat it as an own goal by Blankenberg kind of knocking it into the net, which negates the assist. But
It doesn't make much sense to me, but I don't make the rules, so we'll just have to go get another one next game, I guess.
Connor Hellebuyck has always been a person that's connected with the fans here and whatnot. But for you as a player on this team and being in this market, how much do you think that means to the city when a player like him of his stature has such a strong bond with them, and how Winnipeggers can resonate with that?
Yeah, it's cool to watch. I was laughing tonight at when he makes a big save, and I think it's a walleye swimming around on the banner. Like, he just very much embraces Winnipeg, and I think Winnipeg embraces him, and that's really cool to see kind of the connection such a great player has with such a great city. Like, you can tell he loves it here. He's passionate about being here, passionate about being a Winnipeg Jet, and I mean, you can see it night in, night out. You saw it tonight. He was real pumped up. I know we've kind of let him down to get that 300th win for him a few times, but it's pretty cool for him to get it, especially in that fashion. He made some huge saves for us at the end there, so it's awesome.
Adam Lowry talked this morning about the penalty kill being a priority in the second half. Obviously, pretty good way to start tonight. Give up the one, but 7 chances, including that long 5-on-3. What worked so well?
Obviously we wasn't good enough in the first half, and I think when you get into playoffs, like, those are kind of the kills and the opportunities that present themselves, and in a lot of instances it kind of let us down there last year against Colorado. So it needs to improve, and we talk about having an opportunity to win or lose us a game, and tonight it won us a game. So I just felt like we were real aggressive, and we were real just intense on getting our clears, getting our blocks. A lot of guys stepped up, and especially with JMO missing the last half of the game there, like Villy and Cogs, those guys who don't necessarily kill every night, stepped up and did a great job.
Safe to say you'd prefer not to have to test it out 7 times in a
Yes,
game?
yeah, it's definitely. But
Morgan, what do you remember about this event of Connor reaching history? Like, what's going to resonate with you when you look back at this over time?
I think just his consistency. I mean, it's been 10 plus years now, I think, and he's right there. He's been a top goalie in the league every year, and it seems like night in and night out. I mean, there's times we're playing the other team, and you just hear guys being like, "What is going on? This guy's unbelievable!" Just kind of muttering to themselves on the ice. So, it's just fun. I mean, it seems like he hits one of these milestones every couple of weeks. So I'm sure there'll be another one coming down the pipeline. But just feel real honored to kind of be his teammate and get to watch him do that.
I think all the older generation Jets fans love it when you score, not just because it's depth scoring, but because you got such a banger of a song. How'd a young man land on an old man?
I always pick him with my girlfriend and my brother. We kind of listen through in the summer, and last year I tried to kind of do my East Coast roots, but I don't know, I was just driving around the summer and that came on shuffle. So I like hearing it.
Thank you all. Great stuff.
Thanks.
Scott, start with any update on Josh Morrissey? Any idea of the
lower body? You got to see how he is tomorrow. Obviously, couldn't play the rest of the game there. Fell into the goalpost. So
he did try the one shift.
Yeah. It just was hurting. So
obviously that puts a big strain on your remaining five, especially because of who it is that's out. To just maybe take us through what you thought that looked like.
Yeah, I think what's this, the fourth time I believe it's happened, fourth or fifth time. Kudos to those guys. They did a heck of a job. Everybody else stepping up. Billy Cogs going in there, kind of playing as a pair. I thought they did a really good job. And guys, sometimes when you get into situations like that, you don't have a chance to think, and you just go play, and all you're trying to do is get your breath back and get back out there again. And just a great job by all five of those guys.
7-1, I believe, was the final penalty disparity there. It includes 2 double minors. So just want to ask you about, in Rasmus's case, do you get an explanation there? Because he's obviously impeded, and they call that. In a follow-through on a shot, a player you're allowed to not have control of your stick. That doesn't apply when a player is tripped?
No.
Did you know that, or is that
I didn't. That's what I was kind of trying to figure out, was the fact that he got slew foot, and on the way down his stick came up, and they said you have to be responsible for the stick. So I have nowhere to go on it. The only thing I could challenge whether or not it was 2 or 4.
And then on Logan Stanley's one, didn't look like there was initially a call. Is that one that, as far as you know, did the linesman call that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And some have suggested they thought that was a glove that hit him as opposed to...
No, I think he got hit with a stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just back to the defenseman there, like in terms of adversity and what this group has faced on the back end, like when you take a step back, how big is it for the fact that your decor, a lot of guys that maybe would be getting big minutes, have in important games down the stretch, and how big can that be for you guys for the entire year going forward?
Yeah, it's huge for us to have guys playing meaningful games. It just gets them in as part of the mix, feeling comfortable about how we play. Some of the guys are new to our organization, so they haven't had a chance to kind of play with us, so they've get an opportunity doing that. It gives us a read really on kind of watching them, in fast-moving water and kind of seeing how they play in those situations. And for those guys to go through, was it Cogs' game 4, Philly's game 14, like for them to go through these situations and continue to improve and do those things, that's all growth that we need from them.
Connor Hellebuyck, when he got the first star and was the fans gave an ovation, he grabbed the crest on his jersey and was holding it as the fans applauded him. Connor's embraced this city, and you yourself, who's become a resident of the city, has been here for a while. That sort of love affair between Connor and the city, just how lucky is the city to have a player like that, and just kind of what does that do for a franchise when there's that bond, especially for a smaller market?
Well, the biggest thing for me is that he signed that 8-year deal last summer. And that just proved that he loves being here. He loves a lot of what Winnipeg brings, what Manitoba brings, especially the outdoor stuff. His love for the fans is based on how they cheer his name and how they give him standing ovations, and he loves to show that back like that. And for him, he's earned it all, and 300 is a heck of a milestone, and you got to tip your hat to greatness that way, and you'd always love to see it when guys want to be here, and then how the fans reciprocate that back.
The numbers suggest what he's doing, the speed at which he gets to 300 is historical. I'm wondering, in your time in the game, have you seen anything out of the kind of goalie world that you think is comparable, or is this kind of just uncharted territory from what you've seen?
Well, I think there's been sort of era goalies. I don't want to go too far back and give away my age, but I mean, if you go through Brodeur, you go through Patrick Waugh, you work your way up. What I had a chance to be around Hank in New York. There's just like elite players that are on the ice trying to score goals. When you see goalies do it, obviously because of the, having that play that position. It's just like the third period tonight, those shots that were coming at them, and especially on that penalty kill. that's the greatness that you see, and then to be able to be around that, to watch that, be in front of that, or be on the bench watching that every night. That's special for me. I mean, these guys are, they come along every so often, and he's one of those guys, and hopefully he's here. We've got him for a few more years, which is great.
And to the point of the crowd and the way it interacted with your team and the things that they were doing tonight, I know how much they appreciated it as a coach. The way that your team the spine stiffened at that moment towards the end of the game. What did you see from your team there?
Yeah, obviously we got up. Bad first 5 minutes. Probably actually our first 5 shifts weren't very good. They really came at us. Ellie made some stops. We took over the last 15 minutes of that period, got up 3-0. I thought we were pretty sloppy in the second, but the crowd can lift you, and that kill that we had in the third period, the 5-on-3, and us going out and scoring our power play. That crowd, like I said, I got asked this morning about outside people and what their thoughts are about us. We have our fans and we have our people that are Jets supporters, and we know when they're in behind us, and that's that's been an awful lot this year, and we appreciate that, and it helps pick our bench up sometimes when we're down in games, or when if we're down a goal, or we're not playing at our best. It's just something that picks us all up, and that's what you love to see.
That's a unique moment, that mid-game 5-on-3 kill and then into the standing ovation. And I'm thinking of the guys who are on the ice, like Adam Lowry, Neil Pionk, Dylan DeMello, were 3 veterans who don't get a ton of highlight reels or all of the accolades or what have you, but they're getting a standing ovation for your team. What does that mean to you as a coach to see these important cogs get recognized?
I think it just shows how much the word team is important for winning, and your top guys have to be their best, but then you need role players. You need people that step into those situations that help you win hockey games, and that very well could have been a situation where they came back and tied that game up just because of the penalties. And when your leader or your captain is starting it, everybody's following along, but like you mentioned there, role players are a big part of it. You don't win any kind of championship, you don't get anywhere without the depth of your team contributing, and that's just a big part of what we ask.
And one more on Connor Hellebuyck. There was a time at the end of last season where he was saying, well, I don't know, maybe I need to change my game. He doubles down on himself again, and he gets it right. It's even better this year than last, and he won the Vezina Trophy last year. Can you even put into perspective the uniqueness of the personality that you have to be him, being like, I'm going to do it my way, and then he got better?
Yeah, I think that's just his drive, just kind of how he prepares. I think that he looked at a lot of what happened last year. I know he's talked to lots of people, Flats, myself. I mean, there's been lots of conversations, and that's what he's talked about. He's gonna, there's things that he knows that when he's doing well, he's unbeatable, and he just the type of goaltender that is driven. Is going back to your question about sort of the greatness, top goalies. You have a chance to be around elite players in this league. They're in a different mindset, how they approach things, and that's Helly. It's for him to say that I'm going to overhaul this, or I'm going to go back and just be me, or whatever it is. He came in and he told you guys he was going to do it, and he did it. So, it's obviously, it's bonus for us. All right, thank you.